This gun is legal. Let's talk about it. Okay, so before we get going, I want to talk about something real quick. If you are aware of the situation going on with Matt from CRS Firearms, the GoFundMe was actually, basically the money's being held hostage right now. So if you want to use another means to support him, you can go through Give, Send, Go. I believe they are going to be able to offer people refunds or whatnot, something like that. The situation's kind of developing constantly, but I'm going to have a link down to that in the description. Let's talk about this gun here, how it has detachable magazines, is not fixed mag, can use 30 round or 11 round and higher magazines in the state of California, is not yet banned, and some actual real lawyers have tuned in as to why they feel it's legal. Okay, so what we're talking about today is the Kunvirt Firearms safety/trigger system. Now, what this does is, I'm going to show a clip over from Tactical Advisor showing it actually firing. But so what this does is it makes your gun not semi-automatic. Now, there are other things out there that do this, like the Cali key. I've spoken how I'm not a huge fan of the Cali key in the past, and that's for one main reason, which is price. And that is one of the kind of cons with this system, but we'll get into that in a second. Why does this exist? Why does it not being semi-auto matter? Well, in the state of California, we have what's called an assault weapon ban for rifles, pistols, shotguns, and others. We have done a variety of creative methods to get around the state's assault weapon ban. And the way this one works is by making it not semi-auto. It doesn't have to comply with some of the assault weapon ban definitions for pistols and for rifles. Obviously, you can't really put this in a shotgun because it's an AR-15. I know there's some things out there. I know those people with the 410s. Shh, you don't matter. We're not talking about you today. We're talking about AR-15s, 5.56, not rimfire. What's the deal? So this gun, flick it to safe, the gun fires, right? And this is a pretty decent trigger. We'll talk about more about that in a second. Then the gun would then cycle, meaning that it ejects that round. And you might have noticed something. Dead trigger. What's up with that? I flick this gun to safe, I flick it back to fire, and I can pull the trigger again. Safe, fire, pull the trigger. Dead trigger. You know, gun cycles, safe, fire, pull the trigger. Now that seems pretty lame, right? Obviously nobody would choose this over a traditional AR-15 that's semi-auto centerfire, detachable mags, the normal shebang. But we would also, if we didn't have any restrictions in the matter, would probably have like an 11.5 with a stock and a third pin here. Topic for another day. So what this is a simple trigger and safety replacement. Uses a standard mil-spec hammer, standard mil-spec trigger, aftermarket or their proprietary disconnector, and their own safety. The safety is ambidextrous, can be used on right or left-handed shooters. This one is set up to be more for a right-handed shooter. So right hand looks normal like this, right? Left hand is here, and I believe that's just so that when you have to pull the trigger, when you pull the trigger, you then go like that. So it is workable from both sides, and it keeps this out of the way. The total cost for this is about $200, which is the same con that I had with the Cali key. What's cool about this, though, is the only thing keeping you from converting it to free state compliance for when you leave California is you simply pop out the pin in the trigger, take out the proprietary disconnect, put in a standard mil-spec disconnect for the trigger, which takes all of maybe a minute, including if you had to unload a loaded firearm. So you take about a minute doing that, and you're working with a free state AR-15. It's very simple. One pin, pop the original factory disconnector in there. I don't know if all of them are going to ship with the factory disconnect, but mine did, because they sent this to me. So even if it didn't, it's a $3 or $4 part. You might just have some kicking around. So the big cons, let's talk about the cons with this system. First of all, having to go from safe to fire to shoot every single time, that's a definite con. Cannot get around that. It is, however, a system that allows you to use legally your legally possessed high capacity magazines in the state of California. So I can use an 11 round mag and I can take them out easily. I can basically put any style of upper on this. It doesn't matter if it's got a vertical foregrip, flash hider, that business. You get to have all of the features that you want on your gun. But like I said, it's about $200. But what you get with that though is an ambi safety and a pretty nice trigger. For a mil spec trigger, I would say this is on par or better than the ALG ACT, which I actually popped out of this lower receiver to put in the Kunvirt Firearms trigger and safety. Now, it's a pretty interesting system. Like I said, they are expensive. They're going to be available in a variety of colors. They're fairly new to the market. I think this is very interesting. One of the things that I really like about this is that they're going to be selling a lever for whatever side is your non-dominant hand that would behave or look normal as well. Meaning that from the outside looking in, if I had to say, hey, does this gun look California compliant to you? Like, does this look super lame? Or does this gun look super lame? You would say, no, Reno, that has 30 round mags of what looks to be 5.56. Looks like it's got a gas tube. It looks like a normal gun. So what's the catch? And I think that's really what I really like about systems like these. Systems like the FNGR Maglatch, systems like the Kunvirt Firearms system here. I just said system way too many times. System. They look normal, meaning that you can post a photo of it without getting made fun of on the internet. It also means that people cannot assume that your firearm is illegal with just a photo. And since this gun, when fired, jeez, I keep forgetting. When fired, boom, would cycle and eject around. If they didn't see that you fired more than 2 rounds consecutively on a video, it would also be hard to prove that the gun wasn't legal because you could just have this Kunvirt firearm kit in it, right? So I think it's systems like that, It's systems like that that I really fancy when it comes to not getting made fun of on the internet, because looking cool is all that matters. I'm very curious what you guys think about this Kunvirt firearm system. It's $200. It replaces your trigger and safety. I think that for people that are in the process of building a gun currently, this might be more favorable. For people that are already on a fixed mag or a featureless rifle, I think that this would potentially be less desirable because it would be $200 to replace everything, and maybe you already have a trigger you like. But if you're doing a build from the ground up, and I think if I'm doing any future builds, I'm most likely going to go with something like this because I own a ton of mags like this. I don't own many mags of only 10 rounds. It's very easy to convert for when I leave California or if I want to throw a rimfire bolt in it. So it's pretty interesting. I like it. It seems neat. Compliance sucks across the board, but this is a method that would allow you to shoot your gun at the range without getting put in jail. You know, because we've all been to those ranges where it seems like the people working at the range feel like they're cops and that they have to enforce laws even when those laws aren't real. Let me know what you guys think down below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.